Richard, Mokani. Sawam?
Yeah.
It's good, Msibobo.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's our favorite topic. It's our favorite topic.
A controversial, polarizing one.
Yeah. No, it's exciting times for CSA. It's been quite a rough period for the institution.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, there seems to be progress. So behind the scenes, and now it's translating. So off-field translating to on-field.
On-field, yeah.
So
I mean, just give us background so like our viewers can understand, and like some people aren't as invested in cricket, and especially like the technical side of like the business side of South African cricket.
Okay, so to go back, man, there's historically there's been issues in the boardroom.
Yeah.
This goes back to early 2000s.
Yeah.
There's been political squabbles, power struggles, egos,
Yeah.
But the main thing which in recent times has happened, there's also been the bad days of match fixing, race issues, but we've gotten to a point now where everyone has decided, look, we need to move this institution forward if we want to be recognized as a cricket powerhouse again.
Yes.
So the most important thing that they did, they got a new CEO, they got a new executive team.
Yeah.
But what would
Poletsi Moseki?
Yeah.
He's the new
CEO.
But he wasn't he an acting CEO for a while?
So he was acting. So that's another thing that sponsors and business people will wanna know.
Yeah.
They're more comfortable with stability.
Yeah.
So now the executive team is
settled.
It's settled for your contracts, and there's a bit of stability there. There's no interim people.
What do you think about Geoff van der Walt being CFO?
Well, I mean, look, to be honest, I don't know too much about him.
Okay.
But my biggest concern with cricket is firstly stabilizing cricket, making sure that the people behind the scenes do their job in terms of running it well.
Yeah.
And then attracting sponsors, so that
attracting investment.
Yeah. So that the people who run the on-field stuff don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So there was a very, some say controversial, but Enoch Nkwe is back in the building
as a technical
cricket
technical director.
Yeah, cricket director. So he took over from Graham Smith.
Yeah.
But before that, he had some disagreements with good old Mark Boucher.
But he's more qualified than both of them combined.
Yeah. He's got a great reputation internationally. Some of the work he did in the Netherlands, and he's a familiar face in the local cricketing world. Yeah,
I mean, I think Enoch Nkwe was like a leader or a captain since he's been in school cricket.
Yeah.
So and his leadership is not foreign to him.
And his cricketing career was essentially cut short by injury.
Yeah.
But then he became quite a good coach and administrator.
Yeah.
So with that appointment, now his mandate was to choose to sort out the national team coaching issue
and structure of how the teams are selected or play.
Sure. So all cricketing bodies in this country report to him essentially. So women, the schools, high performance centers, and obviously the marquee team, which is the Proteas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy with Enoch being cricket director. Mm-hmm. Not only because I kind of saw his coaching when he was interim just before Mark Boucher.
Yeah.
But also I remember when I think he was at the Titans.
Lions.
Yes. He brought in some good talent. There was also a harmony within the squad. The Lions was getting more sponsors.
Sure.
And like the visibility marketing. Yeah. So I'm happy with Enoch Nkwe, and I'm happy with the next segment of this chat that he pulled South Africa into the modern way of cricket coaching.
Okay, so that explain it.
So we've been stuck in the old school thinking of the test team coach is the one-day team coach, which is the T20 coach.
Sure.
And with modern cricket, different skill set apply for different formats.
Sure.
Test cricket coaching, you can go for like an aggressive coach, but sometimes you can have 3-4 sessions where you're being battered. You can't keep on saying we're gonna put our foot on their neck. Actually say India, 4 sessions lower bowler nina. Change the dynamic, bring in slower bowlers, or just strangle them by forming pressure, this, that, and the third. Whereas one day and T20, you can go full throttle the whole game, or you can manage the game and the over rate and then like kill it at the depth. So with that, he said Shukri Conrad is our test cricket coach. And then is it Rob?
Rob Walters.
Rob Walters is our one day and T20 coach. Both coaches are very well known in the South African ecosystem.
But wait, before you, now you said they split the coaching
responsibilities.
Are there any countries which have a test coach, a one day coach, and a T20 coach, or is it normally test and then limited overs is one person?
Australia currently have like they separated powers from Justin Langer because I don't know why they didn't want to renew his contract. So there's a test and there's a one day.
Okay.
Before England had baseball. So baseball is Brendan McCullum, who was a former New Zealand player and captain. Before he got there, they had separated the test cricket coach one day. Well, limited
overs cricket.
I don't know what happened there. The politics. Currently, England, like the Ministry of Sports, is very influential, so they kind of dismantled that.
Okay.
They put in baseball. Baseball is like coach of all nights.
Oh, okay. So they've gone.
They went backwards.
Okay.
But within the last 5-6 years, the trend is you separate the powers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what do you think of our coaching selections? Because honestly speaking, I know Shukri quite well in terms of what he's done in the domestic game and also just being in the national setup. But I'm not too clued up on the Rob Walters.
So the information I have, based on my general knowledge and research, Rob Walters was an assistant to Umak Boucher at Titans.
Okay.
And then he left for New Zealand.
And
then he was in the New Zealand
county system,
and then he what New Zealand's equivalent of the Big Bash League, Australia's Big Bash T20. He coached there a bit. He coached in the IPL. I think Rajasthan Royals. He was in the part of the backroom staff, not the main coach though. I don't know what he's won.
Okay.
I don't know what he's won, and that makes me question what was the criteria of this selection. Criteria and KPIs.
Sure.
Because you say you want to win a limited overs World Cup, or you want Test cricket to go back to number one. You're not bringing in a person who's got winning culture. You're not bringing in a person who can put medals on the table and say,
let's compare.
Let's compare. And internationally, I've done this. Locally, I've done that. So that already makes me feel like these were populist
just familiar
appointments. Yes, they were populist. It's like Mphikeleli Boardroom, Sive, Mphikeleli. Mphikeleli, I'll take credit. When your masses, so I feel like outside, I mean, you can speak more on Shukri. I remember Shukri from, I think there was a time he was working together with Charles Langerfeld at, was it Paul?
I think it's Boland.
Yeah. That's about it. I know he's been in the ecosystem, but I don't know a lot about it.
No, I think, look, from what I can gather with the Shukri appointment and simply listening to him speak on the appointment, he's done everything you can do in the national team setup. I think under 19s know him well. His SAA know him well. The high performance center, so he knows how things work. So I think his most recent job outside of, he's also, funny enough, coached in Uganda.
The national team. Okay.
So his knowledge is.
So this was the next step, basically. That was the next logical step.
Yes. Okay. But in terms of what you are saying about, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to win stuff? Are we looking for stability? Are we looking for someone who's going to breed in young talent into the test team? We don't know as fans. But I think my one question is, okay, we have these guys who are familiar faces in cricket. But surely we're trying to, so especially with let's go back to Rob's situation. Now, if Rob was in the system before, right? Assistant to Mark Boucher.
Yeah.
Do we not feel that the national cricket team needs like a new start, a fresh start? Nothing against him, but new coach, someone who will excite the youngsters and take us to a World Cup.
There's that too, the relationship with the players.
Yeah.
The relationship with the players is big. I mean, if you look at, for instance, I go back to baseball.
Yeah.
Who the current test cricket team captain, SA England, is New Zealand born, that ginger man, middle order batsman, Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
Stokes and McCullum's characters are so intertwined and similar that when they go back and talk to their teammates and the rest of the team, it's like if I say why.
Sure.
There's that dynamic you need to consider. As much as you bring in a winner and this and that, there's that dynamic you go to play. Esport at the end of the day, there's personality that intervenes somewhere in between.
And that's big in cricket.
It's very.
The coach and the captain need to be very close.
Yeah. That's why you find that some players would say, I can bleed for this guy. Broken finger and still go back to bat.
Sure.
Because that coach, he loves them.
Yeah.
You see. But outside of that, man, I just feel like we missed something here, because I don't know what the KPIs are. They weren't discussed with the public, and that on its own makes CSA still lose the trust of the public, and we already don't trust them. Well, not trust, doubts. Doubts. Yeah,
it's an opportunity to, if we're looking at a fresh start and moving into the future, those are some of the things we need to consider. Taking the fans with you on the journey, and saying, look, guys, this is what we're trying to do. Give us some time. And then your fans will be patient with you.
There's ambiguity right now.
No, we don't know. Does the coach have to win a World Cup? Does the test team need to be number one? What are we trying to do?
What are we trying to do? Are we blooding in new talent, and then for the next year or two we're just building a new squad?
We can sacrifice a World Cup or T20 for 4 years time. What is the plan?
But I'm seeing E1 day team yet, and T20 team has got a very aggressive style, of which I love. I mean, I haven't seen Temba strike a ball so cleanly in a minute. I think it was just when he was selected that he was striking a ball this good, and I think mentally he's in a very better place. And I mean, what he did to England recently when he scored his, I think, third ODI ton. It's the best I've seen Temba play.
Sure. But I think maybe that has a lot to do with, again, a fresh start. You understand? The old coach is gone. A lot of the old leadership is gone. So there's excitement.
There's a new bounce.
There's a lot of excitement now, and I think going back to the Shukri topic, when he came out, he said, look, this is what I'm going to be honest with the players. I'm going to speak to each and every one of them and let them know what I think about where I see them and what they should be doing at the level which
they should be doing at.
Right? And he's going to hold them accountable. No favors, everyone a clean slate. So those types of conversations, especially in the test space, excite me. You know what I mean?
Great.
But there's a lot of youngsters too. Tristan Stubbs.
And Stubbs is currently like the leader of the pack in terms of the youngsters.
And young Brevis as well.
Brevis is there. I mean, I'm liking Marco Jansen.
Sure.
Liking him. So he's already in the team, but like you can see Utu Sese went behind the ears. But I'm liking Marco Jansen. I don't know. I feel like Kaya Zondo's been given ample chances, but maybe he'll get a decent run. Like maybe a good full 1 year in the team, and we'll get to see what he's actually capable of.
And Lungingidi seems to be injury free for now.
His health is back on top, and I mean, I'm also seeing is it Arne or Arna Nokia?
Anki Nokia.
I'm seeing he's starting to pull it around like 150 kilometers per hour consistently, which is it bodes well for our attack.
So there's a lot of excitement even amongst the fans, the style of play, the different players. But let's see what is going to happen with these coaches.
But what about the elephant in the room?
Which one?
Geoff Toyana. No, it's personal.
But I don't want to be the one who's always...
Geoff Toyana, I feel like he's been blackballed by the powers that be at CSA. I mean, there was a time he was the most successful domestic coach. I mean, four titles in 5 seasons at the Lions, blooding Abu Quinton de Kock, Tinus the Brain, Tinus the Brain. Who's that other tall, lanky dude from Dwayne Victorious? The current Rassi van der Dussen's first chance was given to him by Geoff.
Definitely.
So I don't know how he was overlooked. I mean, even if they could have said technical or batting consultant or like just bring him in the space. Under 19 World Cup. His first professional coach was Geoff.
No, I think that it's one of those things that will always be contentious because we don't know what the criteria was. So if the criteria was we want a winning coach who the youngsters are comfortable with, who the current senior players are familiar with,
and the boardroom is comfortable with as well.
So if we knew what they were looking for,
then we can bring up this conversation.
But definitely he should be the coach. He should be at least a limited. Limited overs coach.
Or if we were separating all powers,
they
can give Rob Walters T20, but they should have given Geoff 50 over cricket. I really feel like that.
I think if we wanna win a World Cup,
we need a Geoff in there.
Geoff needs to be the coach.
Yeah.
So until we have him as a coach, I don't think we're gonna win the World Cup.
And also, I mean, there's a lot of former players who went to get their licenses and their coaching badges. Makaya's one, Herschel Gibbs, some of them have even coached in good. I mean, Lance Klusner was there, but he declined the job.
Yeah.
Because I think he knows the politics.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so scared to pay Kirsten Inyo, Aifunayo.
Yeah.
Kirsten is a World Cup winning coach.
Yeah. So those are the issues around this current decision. But
we're just saying congratulations on entering the modern coaching space and fixing the boardroom issues. But just be consistent in how you're making your decisions.
But let's see how they go.
And the SA20 was a success in terms of attendance. I was just looking at the ticket sales. They had especially the games that were during the week, people coming from work, 5:30. Centurion say 5:30. Wanderers say 12. They managed to kill that, and that was great to see.
The best thing for me in the T20 setup, I mean, I don't even know how from not being chosen to being in the final of the T20
competition. Yeah, because in December, Mans was just at home chilling, and then next thing he's in the team, he's playing for the team that's contending for the finals.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a beautiful story, and if for the fans that don't know, we're talking about Themba Bavuma, and it's such a beautiful story. I mean, this guy has gone through so much turmoil as a captain. Yeah. But again, it goes back to this new leaf that he's turned. Yeah. The excitement, he's playing with freedom,
His story arc comes full circle. Yeah. It's very beautiful.
And it would be nice to see him win the T20 with a big score.
Hey man, that would be
quite a story.
Or maybe a full innings, no out. Like Betsy carries the bat throughout the innings.
Or a century.
Yeah, man. Before we go, what do you think of Wandile Kwafu, who's at the Lions? A young coach as well, and it looks like he's bringing in some good talent.
I think Wandile 33. It can only be a good sign for our cricket. He's a good coach. He's got a great team around him, great support in the boardroom. So I think 1 or 2 seasons later, a few trophies later, he should be the next.
He can be in contention.
Yeah, for the national team. Yeah, definitely.
Ashwell Prince?
I think Ashwell Prince is he understands the game well, and he's a very honest person, straightforward. I think he's well suited to the test team. Okay. So whether he's managing players, whether he's a betting consultant, but he needs to be the setup.
Coach vibes, yeah. And like he's the man-to-man dude.
Yeah. Okay. And he's straightforward, and I think maybe I'm not sure who the coaches have in their backroom staff, but I think it would be a good thing for Shukri to have him in.
Oh yeah, we skipped that. Sorry guys, before we wrap up, because we have a few minutes left. One of the things CSA, hopefully one of the people in Bakashili Babugeli channel here too, we don't even know if these guys can bring in their people in the backroom squads. Like that's this thing about ambiguity.
Yeah.
These guys were given mandates that we don't know. Liberty of who's coming in and we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I just feel like as much as we've given them praise, they missed a few things they could have sorted out very...
Or they know, but they just haven't communicated it. So that's...
Then the spokesperson needs to be a better spokesperson, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell the country with the, these are the new coaches.
They come with their own
coming
teams.
in with their own teams. We will hold them accountable, but now we're still fleshing out their KPIs. Yeah. And then at least says with, okay, they have targets, because right now we don't know what their targets are.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell us what you think, guys. And if you aren't versed in cricket, you can go back to some of season 1's conversations. It always sounds like we're bashing CSA. We're not bashing CSA. CSA is a very capable organization that South Africa can actually push to be a world leader, like BCCI and English and Wales Cricket Board and Cricket Australia. The issue is that because of our dirty segregated past, there's still a whole white boys club mentality somewhere in there. We need to get it out, and that's why people like us are voicing it out.
Sure.
And Nani Buffet to get in there, show what you know. Former cricket players, get in there, share what you know. If you were playing school cricket, we don't know. You can even give us angles we have missed. So
no doubt.
Shout out to that, and man, it's episode number 4 wrapped up. Thank you for joining the Matchup TV. We'll check you on the next one.
Easy. Peace.